it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Waz Reviews. Ever move out of the city to run a farm only to get roped into reviving the town's local goddess through musical instruments? I mean, all the time, am I right? Can't I just do my farm chores without some random spherical musical note popping up as I shout lucky? Is that too much to ask?
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Harvest Moon Magical Melody. Now, you may know me for my Star Trek content, but when I'm not watching Star Trek, I lead a simple farming virtual life with Harvest Moon, the original farming sim, if you will. And I've been revisiting my old Harvest Moon games lately and found myself playing a particularly musical entry, Magical Melody. Now, this one's an interesting one in the franchise. While it added some new features that would become pretty commonplace in future entries, in some ways, it was a return to form, bringing the classic feel of the older games back into the series, which was absent for a couple of games. It was also notable for being the first console game in the series to let you pick to play as a male or female farmer, a feature that's pretty much expected now. But it's also a rather strange game in the series, with 3 different versions of the game. Fun fact, the original version of the game wasn't released outside of Japan due to numerous bugs, but an updated version was developed and finally released in America as Magical Melody. But not in Europe. Instead, Europe got the game when it was ported to the Wii, which added motion controls but took out the ability to play as a girl. The version I'm reviewing is the American GameCube version, a game that I haven't picked up since I got it almost 20 years ago! I remember pre-ordering this game. I even bought the strategy guide. I need a moment.
I am 29.
I'm 27.
Well, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm returning to an old favorite to save this town from being sad through hard work and plenty of turnips in Harvest Moon Magical Melody. But before I go further, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about Star Trek, video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. And if you'd like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member. Be great to have you aboard. After picking your birthday season and gender, you arrive in Flowerbud Village. Wait, why does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, Harvest Moon 64 was Flowerbud Village. Only this town looks nothing like it. The exciting ranch plan. We're looking for ranchers. Would you like to work in Flowerbud Village? Buy property you choose and live a warm and rewarding ranch lifestyle. Okay, time to start up my new peaceful, quiet life. Even the mayor personally greets me and asks me where I want to live. I'm a regular local celebrity. Choose a lot and house from the following. Yeah, this is a departure from most Harvest Moon games. Normally, you're given a farm in a specific area of town and that's it, hop to it.
Jump to it.
Here, you get to choose from 3 areas of town to begin your farming journey, each with advantages and disadvantages. The village center, the ocean side, and the river side, which is convenient for fishing, but... yeah, it doesn't explain why. I opted for the ocean side because I like the extra space.
The final frontier.
And I'm even free to do whatever I want on my property. Screw you, homeowners association! My life as a farmer is about to begin in this crappy little house. It's perfect. Well, time to go to bed and dream about sitting atop a pile of turnips. And cold hard cash. Wait, what? This isn't the kind of dream I was asking for! People forgot how to appreciate. They forgot kind thoughts. The heart to believe. The heart to love. And my existence? Goodbye, everyone. No, don't do it! That was the harvest goddess, by the way, and she just turned herself into stone because she's sad. Oh yeah, and it turns out it wasn't really a dream after all.
And it's real!
Apparently that dream was from about a year ago, and the local farmer, Jamie, has been working to restore the harvest goddess to her unstone-like glory. And judging by the looks of things, Jamie hasn't been very effective. Great job, Jamie! Fine, I'll restore your harvest goddess. Even though I just got here. Give up already. Yeah, because you're doing such a bang-up job, Jamie! But Jamie insists he'll be the one to rescue the Harvest Goddess and doesn't want any help from me because humans bad and they made the Harvest Goddess that way or something. Well, at least the Harvest Sprites believe in me. Yes, while most Harvest Moon games are more open-ended and mainly have you focus on fixing up a farm, Magical Melody falls into the subset of Harvest Moon games that also gives you an objective. In this case, restoring the Harvest Goddess and reviving the town. But in order to do that, it all begins on the farm. One of the revolutionary aspects of Magical Melody was how you can customize your farm. In previous games, you're given the same farm layout for the entire game. Sure, you could expand buildings, maybe even build a hothouse, but there was no way to change the layout of your farm. Every game looks the same no matter what. Magical Melody gives you a plot of land and it's all up to you. Wherever you can till soil, you can grow crops. Found a crevice to put your chicken coop? Well, if it fits, your chickens can sit. But of course, freedom isn't free. You'll have to clear the land to build the farm of your dreams as well as gather materials. Trees need to come down, allowances for crops must be made, land must be budgeted. You see why I wanted the land? It can get pretty cramped quickly. Of course, when you do run out of land, you can always buy more, which I have a love-hate relationship with. Yes, I can make my farm stretch to the far reaches of the town. Heck, if we're talking the ratio of land I own compared to everybody else, I practically own this town. But that means my farm is broken up into multiple plots of land, separated by pathways and other people's property. Yeah, I'm not crazy about going halfway across town just to feed my cows because I haven't been able to open up land closer to my farm yet. I just want a contiguous farm. Is that too much to ask? Oh yeah, and did I mention your farm doesn't come with a chicken coop or barn? You have to build those. On the one hand, you're given a lot of freedom to create the farm you want, but actually getting there is entirely on you. But it's not just the farm you can customize, but your house as well. Finally, you can arrange your furniture exactly the way you want it. Except when you can't. Yeah, certain items have to go along the back wall. It's kind of annoying because there's no reason why I can't have the TV along the side wall other than I won't be able to see the picture. Look, I can live with that. I just want to know the weather for tomorrow. Heck, I ended up putting the TV and calendar upstairs after I unlocked the second floor just so I could put stuff along the back wall. But it's still a pain to go upstairs just to check the weather and whether there's a festival tomorrow. Well, home customization was a good idea. I can't help but feel parts of this game were inspired by the original Animal Crossing, from the customization to even the cutesy art style. Which works well for Animal Crossing, but needed some more refinement for Magical Melody. But hey, the more things change, the more they stay the same, am I right?
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Even though Magical Melody introduced some new ideas, it still plays like most Harvest Moon games, while updating certain features, a marriage of new and old. Tending your crops, taking care of cows, chickens, sheep, and horses, foraging for extra money, it all basically plays like any other Harvest Moon game, but with added features to refine gameplay and make it interesting. Wait! You mean I can finally walk over plants? You mean I can water that coveted middle crop? Oh, I can't because the plants are too big. Game, you were this close. Growing crops is your standard Harvest Moon fare. You till the soil, you plant bags of seed-appropriate seeds in a 3x3 square, and you water your plants until they mature and it's time to harvest. But the updated twist? Soil and crop quality. In fact, this is one of the earliest Harvest Moon games to include this feature. It's pretty simple, and compared to the time-consuming 5-star system that plagues some of the newer games, I can dig it. It's the KISS method, folks! Grow your crops in low-quality soil, you get low-quality crops. Grow your crops in high-quality soil, and you get max profit.
What you are about to hear is the most beautiful sound in the galaxy.
And you can even improve soil quality with the help of fertilizer, which you can unlock. It's not overcomplicated or time-consuming, so I like it. And to make your farm work easier as you plant more and more crops, you can upgrade your tools either by giving ore to the blacksmith and waiting a couple of days for him to make it, or buying new tools from the junk shop for instant use. Nice. Although powering up your tools still seems to take a pretty big chunk out of your stamina. In fact, that's one of my complaints about this game. It's very easy to deplete your stamina and pass out just to get lectured to by the doctor. You should really go home and rest today. When you feel tired, you should stop doing hard work. When you don't sleep enough, you get tired easily, so go to bed early. Understand? Don't tell me what to do, Doc! And to think I was thinking of marrying you. And as far as your animals go, caring for them is the same as in any other Harvest Moon game. Feed them to keep them healthy, brush them to raise affection, take them inside when it rains, and you'll be rewarded with milk, eggs, and wool, which you can process into cheese, butter, mayonnaise, and yarn for additional profit. Not much different from the rest of the franchise, to be honest. Heck, you can make things really easy by just leaving your animals outside so they can feed themselves, and I can't leave my chickens outside? Or I can, but I don't get any eggs. What is this? And look, this wouldn't be a big deal if it was easier to call my animals inside every evening. But I only have a bell and reins for the barn animals to bring them inside, so I have to individually carry each chicken in just to collect eggs the next day. Yeah, sorry guys, you're indoor chickens now. Also, I can't push my cows and sheep inside. I have to use tools that take up space in my already limited rucksack. What is this? You mean I get a dog and a pig inside my house? Yay! But there's more to this game than building up your farm. You're a valued member of the community. Act like it! The town may be called Flowerbud Village like Harvest Moon 64, but the town's residents are actually from the original Harvest Moon game for the Super Nintendo and Save the Homeland for the PS2. I never had a Super Nintendo, so I never played the original Harvest Moon game, so characters like... Do any of these characters have names? So characters like Liz, Michael, and Terry were all new to me. What is familiar to me, on the other hand, are the Save the Homeland characters. Woody! Tim! Ronald! You're all here! And who can forget Cybara? Duke? Aren't those Back to Nature characters? Or Harvest Moon 64 characters? Also Nami from A Wonderful Life. That's cool. Now for fans of the original game, I imagine it was mind-blowing to see their favorite pixelated characters upgraded to 3D. But as a fan of Save the Homeland, yeah, I prefer Save the Homeland's graphics. Don't get me wrong, these are cute, chibi-style graphics that fit well with the game's cheerful tone, and I loved them when the game first came out. But now, they're not my favorite. Oh, they're not bad, but the chibi style works better for some characters than others. Eve still looks pretty, Bob is both lovably cute and tough, and then there's me with those stupid pigtails that make me look like I'm 5. Not gonna lie, I considered restarting my game to play as the male farmer because of how much I disliked the female farmer's appearance. I got used to it eventually, but there was a place in this game that needed customization the most. When you first move in, there aren't a whole bunch of people in town, but as you ship goods and improve the town, Flowerbud Village will attract new residents who will move in and open up shops, making the town feel like it's alive and growing. Heck, some of the stores in town will even expand and update their interior, allowing even more characters to move in. While there are some new residents you meet just by walking into the lake area of town, most of them you'll meet at the town's festivals. Festivals are a thing in most Harvest Moon games and are usually exciting. Maybe a dance, maybe everyone eats food together, or even drinks themselves silly, stuff like that. In Magical Melody, they're not exciting at all. You go to the square, there's different tables around, you talk to people, and then you go home. That's it. Sure, maybe the first one you attend has a cutscene where you meet new characters, and sure, the ones on the beach have mini-games or let you spend time with your honey. But generally speaking, the festivals are pretty bare bones. We appreciate your attendance. Even the dialogue is pretty dull. I don't like cooking. As long as I can eat, it's alright.
Flowers, huh? That's something I usually have no connection with.
People used to admire the statue of the harvest goddess, but everyone forgot. That's why hate people? Hate people? Riveting. Absolutely riveting. Yeah, this game isn't particularly well written. Granted, I don't go to Harvest Moon for the Shakespearean writing, but these characters aren't particularly interesting, and you need that in a Harvest Moon game because otherwise, it's just a farming sim. I can't speak for the original Harvest Moon characters, but the Save the Homeland characters had personalities and were interesting. Here, they really don't say or do anything memorable as you befriend them, so I didn't see much reason to continue befriending any of the characters after unlocking what I needed from them. That hardly ever happens for me in Harvest Moon. Oh, I unlocked all the plots of land I can purchase? No need to keep bringing baked sweet potatoes to Theodore. Oh, I just got a maxed out rucksack? Martha, it's been real. Heck, some characters I don't even bother befriending and they end up moving out of town temporarily. Yeah, the game guilt trips you if you're not social enough to everyone. I'm sorry, Katie, but I don't see much reason to go to the cafe that only sells desserts that don't give me much energy when I can get a regular meal literally across the bridge.
Only desserts? How come? They taste good.
But okay, the townspeople aren't the deepest out there, but like most Harvest Moon games, you can still get married. The dating scene in Flowerbud Village is jumping with 10 bachelors and 10 bachelorettes for you to choose from. And Jamie. Jamie's gender is dependent on the gender of your character, making him or her an available bachelor or bachelorette. If you're a guy, she's a girl, and if you're a girl, he's a guy. The downside of that is that the game ends if you marry Jamie, making it impossible to 100% the game. So, I didn't do that. Besides that, I don't like Jamie. Thoroughly condescending. Now, the marriage aspect was especially a big draw for me in this game because as much as I loved Harvest Moon Save the Homeland, there was no marriage in the game. Now fans of Save the Homeland can marry their favorite single ladies or gentlemen from that game. And this was before Hero of Leaf Valley, which was an updated version of Save the Homeland that included marriage. So, Magical Melody was for some time the only way to marry your favorite bachelorettes from Save the Homeland. But I'm playing as a chick in this game, so it's the single men. Yeah, they're not very good. Seriously, none of these guys appealed to me. I was going to pursue Alex, the local doctor. He's got a solid, stable job and is easy enough to befriend. Just give him herbs lying all over town. He loves them herbs. I found these herbs. Aren't they strange and a little exciting? I'm being set up, aren't I? I'll give them to you. No, thanks. I'm an herb-free house here. But no, that wasn't the reason I broke it off with Alex, for I have an even pettier reason. His voice!
Yeah.
Look, I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life till death do us part listening to that, yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I opted for the Plant Man. Basil, or is it Basil, originally from Save the Homeland but went by Parsley in that game, is a plant hunter who also accepts herbs lying around town, making him also extremely easy to befriend and woo. He also doesn't try to give me strange and exciting herbs for me to try, so that's a bonus. He gave me a rock!
I got a rock.
Okay, limestone. Now, one of the key features in Harvest Moon Romance is the heart events. Get your honey's affection high enough and you trigger a cutscene where you learn a little more about them and make a dialogue choice that will either make them love you or hate you. Magical Melody, unfortunately, doesn't have this. That's disappointing.
Disappointed!
The bulk of the romantic moments come in the form of certain festivals where you can watch fireworks or the moon and maybe share a kiss with your honey, but that's about it. It's pretty underwhelming. But it wasn't long before Basil began to express his feelings for me, being loaded up with whatever herbs were lying on the ground. You slipped into my heart like a refreshing spring breeze. I don't think I can live without you.
3 days later.
It's winter, so I'm going on a trip and search for greenery. Basil, why? You said you couldn't live without me! You lied! I climbed to the top of a mountain for a blue feather for you! I just needed another day!
No, let me finish!
My boyfriend left me for plants. I don't even know what to say to that. I had to watch a burning log with Alex because my boyfriend was out of town and the game picked Alex for me. I feel like the game's making me borderline cheat on my boyfriend. Another festival. Basil? You came back for me? To sit under the stars? He does care. It may be the dead of winter and we have nothing but short sleeves and shorts, but our love will keep us warm. Oh, but I still invited Bob to welcome in the new year with me. Look, Basil wasn't even a choice.
He let us. He let us.
A little bird told me that there's a lot of greenery and flowers. Well, it better have been a bluebird. Yeah, buddy, you're back and we're getting married. Sorry, Alex. Wait, who's this? I haven't even met Henry the artist yet, and he randomly showed up to crash my wedding. Also, I'm going to assume he's French. Oh, hello. This is a very beautiful place. It's full of nature and, how you say, calms my soul.
I am a Frenchman.
Well, not much changes after marriage other than Basil moves in and I have the option to have him call me by a nickname. Or just my name. Which sounds mesmerizing, apparently. And he spends every day saying, "What is it, Janelle? I love you!"
I know.
And about 20 days later, I'm expecting a little bundle of joy, and about 2 seasons later, I welcome that bundle of joy into the world. Who is forever a toddler. I could complain, but that's pretty typical of Harvest Moon. Now, I've spent a lot of time talking about the gameplay, developing your farm, forging relationships with the townspeople, a little time for romance, but I haven't touched on the objective of the game, reviving the Harvest Goddess. Well, before there were achievements in video games, there were musical notes. Each note is earned by completing certain tasks, which can be as easy as whistling a bunch of times or passing out from exhaustion, to winning contest festivals and catching every fish in the game. 5 notes turn into a musical instrument at the Harvest Goddess Lake, and once you collect 50 notes, you revive the goddess in all her glory. Oh yeah, and Jamie does nothing to help! Gee, I wonder why the Harvest Goddess stayed as a stone statue for a while. How long are you guys gonna rely on this person? Because I'm the only one doing any work around here, Jamie! You see why I didn't marry him? Now, I don't mind the note system. Sure, the game doesn't tell you what exactly you need to do, but it gives you the name of the note so you have some idea of how to collect it. And besides that, I have the strategy guide. Plus, most everyday chores on the farm will yield you a fair number of notes. The downside, of course, is that certain notes can only be collected at certain times of the year. I was held up trying to 100% this game because of a couple of notes. I mean, sure, you accomplish your mission by getting the 50 notes to revive the goddess, but I'm a completionist when it comes to this game. Though, you could say I won by just humiliating Jamie. Heck, the game even encourages you to collect the rest of the notes, so... I mean, it's gonna be great when I do, right? Oh, it's winter, and I still need the Ba note. And I can only get it in the summer at the sheep contest? Okay, I guess. Expert Angler! I still need to catch specific fish in spring, summer, and fall? Oh, and I need to wait for my kid to start crawling? Yeah. I'll be honest, at this point, I ran out of stuff to do in the game and was solely playing for those final notes. I blew through a whole bunch of days just to advance the clock. Well, time to get to work.
One eternity later.
I did it! I finally did it! Okay, technically it's only 99 notes, but that last note is waiting for me at the Harvest Goddess Spring. After talking to the goddess and finally admitting defeat, Jamie is humbled and admits the final note.
That still only counts as one!
Remember to be thankful. Always care about one another. Learn to trust your friends. Don't be afraid to love. There is a way to live happily ever after. Oh, that's it. Not sure that was really worth it. And yes, you can continue to play the game after collecting all 100 notes, but I'm ready to move on. And that was Harvest Moon Magical Melody. I remember really loving this game back in the day, and it certainly maintains its charm and teary tone nearly 2 decades later. But I admit, I had a tough time getting into this game for this playthrough. Maybe it was the daunting task of collecting 100 notes, and the hang-ups that happen along the way, the fact that my stamina goes down quickly from barely any work, or even the art style of the game, which doesn't look bad, but I've seen better in the franchise. But this game hasn't aged as well for me as some even older Harvest Moon games have. That being said, I still enjoyed my time revisiting Magical Melody once I got into it. I can cut it some slack in some areas for being one of the first Harvest Moon games to introduce features that would carry over into newer games. But the game's flaws really stand out to me years later. Would I replay it? Probably not anytime soon, maybe in another 20 years. Would I recommend it? Sure, why not? Despite its flaws, it's still a fun entry in the series where you can build the farm of your dreams and watch the town grow as you do. It's not a perfect game, but nevertheless, the magic of the franchise is very much a part of it. So what do you think? Have you played Harvest Moon Magical Melody? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you play it on the GameCube or the Wii? How does it compare to other Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons games? And what are some of your favorite farming sim? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Waz Reviews. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
Fresh corn, sweet as a baby's smile, and tomatoes.